Welcome to this video where we go over the warm-up and workout exercises associated with subqueries. Start by using the classic models database by typing in use classic models. Pause this video and then take time to attempt the following 6 queries that demonstrate and have you practice the subqueries. Now that you've had an opportunity to practice these queries, let's take a look at their solutions. We first start by using the classic models database. Once we've used the classic models database, our first query is to list the names of customers whose credit limit is greater than the average credit limit. To answer this query, we select customer name, because that gives us the name of the customer, from the customers table, where the credit limit of that customer needs to be greater than the average credit limit. The average credit limit is obtained by the query select average credit limit from customers, and so we use that in here. Giving us the following result. We have 69 customers whose credit limit is greater than the average credit limit. The second query is slightly different. You're asked to list the names of products whose MSRP is the highest. This is also a query that requires a subquery. We want to select the names of products, and so product name from products where MSRP. Now we want the MSRP, we want the names of products where the MSRP is the largest or the highest, right? And so to do that, we want the MSRP to be equal to some value. We want it to be equal to the highest value, and in this case, the highest value is obtained by the subquery select max MSRP from products. And this gives you one result. There is one product where the MSRP is the highest. Next one asks you to list the names of products whose buy price is the least. And so this is also very similar to the previous query, but in case of this query, we are looking at buy price instead of MSRP. So we're going to select product name from the products table where buy price or the purchase price is equal to the least, which is the selection of the minimum buy price from the products table. This gives you those products where, and really just one, whose buy price is the least. The next one asks you to list out check numbers of checks where the amount of the check is twice the average check amount. Well, what is the average check amount? Let's take a look at that. So select the check number from payments where the amount was, and I say was, I should probably say was greater than twice the average check amount. Right, where amount is greater than 2 times the average. And so the average is select average amount from payments, giving us the following query. Now, or giving us the following result. Now, if you actually did where the check was equal to twice, is twice the average amount, you change amount is equal to, and I don't think there are any checks that are exactly equal to twice the average check amount. So I think greater than is the better option. The next query asks you to list out names of non-USA customers and their credit limit if their credit limit was greater than the average credit limit of non-USA customers. So this is a little bit of a trickier query because your subquery requires some conditions. Let's see what the conditions of the subquery are. right? The subquery says, so we want non-USA customers, and we want to make sure that the credit limit of non-USA customers is greater than the average credit limit of non-USA customers. So let's first think about how to obtain the average credit limit of non-USA customers. To get the average credit limit of non-USA customers, you'd say something like select average credit limit from customers where country exclamation point equal to USA. This is the credit limit. This is the average credit limit of non-USA customers. Now, you want non-USA customers whose credit limit is greater than this number over here. So you would be selecting customer name from customers where the country exclamation point equal to USA. We want non-USA customers and their credit limit is greater than this value over here, which is obtained by that query. And so I'm just going to kind of copy and paste that query in here. And so we see that this gives us 48 non-USA customers whose credit limit is greater than the average credit limit of non-USA customers. Along the similar vein, we have our next query. Write a query to list out the names of products and their product line for products in the classic cars, vintage cars product lines, if their MSRP is greater than the average MSRP of products in the CC meaning classic cars, and VC product lines, VC meaning vintage cars. Right? So we have two product lines in the products table. Specifically, in the product line column of the products table, we see classic cars, and if you scroll down, you see vintage cars. And so really be interested in products in those two product lines, right? So you would say select product name, comma, product line from products where the MSRP of the product is greater than. Now, the MSRP needs to be greater than something, right? But that's not the only condition. We want the products in these two product lines. And so where product line, I'm just going to use the includes operator. Right, but the product line includes classic cars and vintage cars, and the MSRP is greater than the average MSRP from the products table where product line includes classic cars or vintage cars. And I'm just kind of hitting enter over here just to indent these so that, you know, it reads better as you're reading it, so you can understand which is the subquery over here. So if you run this, you get 28 rows returned. You get a bunch of classic cars and you get a bunch of vintage cars where the MSRP is greater than the average MSRP of products in those two product lines. This concludes the solutions for the subquery module and the warm-up and workout problems for the subquery module. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.